Hello! It's obviously the beginning of the new year, which means lots of fun videos. Honestly, this is one of my favorite times to make videos because I get to talk about the books that I'm excited to read this year. I get to talk about my favorite books from the previous year, which I still need to film, so that will be coming. Just lots of fun planning and reflecting, and I love to do those things. So I thought for today's video, I would talk about the books that I'm really excited to get to this year. So I'm going to make these books a priority. In the past few years, I've done top 23 books to read in 2023, which is fun, but unrealistic. And I haven't read most of those books on those lists. So I thought I would cut it down a bit. So now I have 8 books that I want to get to this year. And obviously there's a high chance that I actually will read all of the books on this list. So yeah, I'm really going to prioritize these books and possibly even film vlogs where I try to read them all. So this year I'm also using Skillshare to help me achieve my goals. And I'm so grateful to be working with them, so thank you so much to Skillshare for sponsoring this video. Skillshare is the largest online learning community for creatives with a wide depth and breadth of classes ranging from illustration, graphic design and photography to music, marketing and productivity. I really love their learn by doing approach to teaching, so each member can create and share a project after completing each class. And these classes are led by industry pros, so this new year you can invest in yourself and your goals by starting a learning journey on Skillshare. And if you're unsure of where to start, Skillshare has designed learning paths that will help you get from a novice to a pro in no time. Learning paths are hand-picked classes that are meant to be taken in order that builds on one another, reinforcing lessons. They are available in a range of experience levels from beginner to advanced and a variety of categories including design, productivity, creative freelancing, tools and software like Procreate and Blender, marketing and more. I'm really excited about these new learning paths, and the one that I'm really excited to take is Creative Essay Writing, Explore the Personal and Powerful. I've learned so much on Skillshare and I can't wait to learn more this year. And if you're interested too, the first 500 people to use my link will get a 1-month free trial of Skillshare. So thank you so much to Skillshare for sponsoring this video. Now let's get into the books. The first is actually a classic. Now, if you followed me for a while, I used to really be quite anti-classics. I just had no interest in reading classics. But then I read Wuthering Heights and I loved it and I had the best time, and I honestly think about that a lot. So I want to read another Bronte. So the first on my list is Jane Eyre by Charlotte Bronte, and so many people have told me to read this over the years because apparently it's a very Chloe-coded book. It has the gothic romance vibes, and it has been a while since I've read Wuthering Heights, and I've really been feeling that itch to read another classic, so hopefully this will be read soon. I think this might be suitable for the cold, cozy vibes, so maybe in winter, but yeah, I am really excited, and I'll definitely film a vlog for this because this experience needs to be documented. And I know this is also a lot of people's favorite books, so I have high hopes and hopefully I love it. Next, I need to read an Elena Ferrante book. So Elena Ferrante is an icon, honestly. Basically, no one knows who she is. She just writes books under this pen name Elena Ferrante, but keeps their identity a secret, and that is everything. I don't think that could be me because sometimes I want to be mysterious and I just can't, but I respect that, and that's so incredible to be mysterious in this day and age. I've heard amazing things about her books. Caitlin read this book and I think it was like her favorite book 2 years ago. She keeps saying I need to read it, so this is going to be the first Ferrante book that I read. Oh my god, I just decided to risk taking this sticker off. And thankfully it worked. So this has been translated from Italian and it follows Giovanna, who believes herself to have a really ugly face, but is she seeing things as they really are? So I believe it's a story of self-discovery, travel, and I've heard that Elena Ferrante just writes about womanhood like no other. Any story about womanhood I will be eating up. So hopefully it's beautiful and amazing, and I'm very excited. Okay. Circe by Madeline Miller. Every time I see this book on my bookshelf, I'm like, why the hell have I not read you yet? Madeline Miller wrote The Song of Achilles, which is one of my all-time favorite books. Honestly, that needs to be on this list too. I need to reread that this year. I adore that book with all my heart, and I know that this is supposed to be quite different, but you know, the way that Madeline Miller writes, I just want to read anything that she puts out into the world, and I've heard obviously amazing things about Circe. So this is a Greek mythology retelling. I don't know anything about Circe, but I believe she's just like this girl boss who has snakes for eyes, I believe, or something to do with snakes. So we've got the fun feminist vibes, the Greek mythology vibes, beautiful writing, women. Yeah. There is danger for a solitary woman in this world, and Circe's independence draws the wrath of men and gods alike. Ooh, a really good first line. When I was born, the name for what I was did not exist. Okay, I've actually read the first chapter of this and really enjoyed it. This is Little Eyes by Samantha Schweblin. And Kaz and I did this really cute little thing for Christmas. So basically, we went to the bookstore and chose books for each other as a little gift. And we surprised each other with the books. So Kaz got me this book, which I actually hadn't heard of before. And I'm so excited about it because I have really been craving a really unique story recently. Because I've read so many books in my life, some stories can, blur or seem really similar. So I've just been really craving like just a super unique book that is unlike anything I've read before, and that is definitely this book. So this is basically a book about surveillance, which I always find interesting. I also love an uneasy read, and that is supposedly this as well. Basically, all around the world, there are cameras inside these like stuffed animals. So people can watch you through these cameras and see you living a day-to-day life, and they're anonymous and untraceable. So it reveals the beauty of connection between far-flung souls, but also exposes the ugly truth of our interconnected society. So really interesting. And yeah, the first chapter that I read was definitely a great, strong start. So I have really high hopes for this. Kaz has already read this, and I think she said it's more just like a psychological vibe with a touch of horror. But yeah, I'm very excited. The next book on my list is The Mermaid of Black Conch by Monique Roffey. And my mum actually read this and she told me that I should read it because she really loved it and she thought I would love it too. And then Caitlin surprised me with this beautiful edition. So I was so thankful that she got me this. And yeah, I need to read it ASAP. Basically, any mermaid story I'm into, but this sounds extra amazing. It is described as a modern myth about belonging and the bonds humans form with each other and their land. It is the story of a mermaid and a human man, their love affair. It's a story of an island and of the great wide sea. I'm so excited. We need more mermaid stories, honestly. So if you have any mermaid book recommendations, that is something that I'm always looking for. So yeah, this needs to happen ASAP. The next book on my list, A Psalm for the Wild Built by Becky Chambers. I have heard that Becky Chambers books are amazing for years and I've never read any of their books. And one of my patrons messaged me and said that they read this and that I should read it too. So I looked it up and it sounds amazing and I really love that it's a short little book. I love a short philosophical book and that is what this book is. It is actually sci-fi, which is something I'm not always into, but if it's a philosophical sci-fi, yeah, it's about robots. And I think the robots are like learning about humans. So yeah, I think it's just a story about humanity and it's supposed to be really beautiful. So I think it might also trigger an existential crisis. Oh wait, it's a monk and robot book. Yes, okay, so maybe the two come together. But yeah, I want to have an existential crisis, so perhaps this will trigger it. Okay, another one of my patrons gifted me and Caitlin A Tree Grows in Bookland. So we each have a copy and it's just so special. Caitlin and I are going to buddy read it together. So I really think 2024 is the year that it needs to happen. This is by Betty Smith and I had never heard of it, but it sounds incredible. And when I posted it on my story, quite a few people replied saying it was their favorite book. So I was like, oh, is this a hidden gem moment? It's apparently an American classic about a young girl's coming of age at the turn of this century. Any coming of age story, sign me up. This supposedly has beautiful writing. The fact that tree is in the title, I love a tree. So that's just all I need. I really love this cover as well. Oh, I love this. There's a little forward and it says, this book is a story about what it means to be human. Okay, lastly, I have Where Have I Been All My Life by Lisa Benson. This is a book that I got for my birthday from my mum. That was like 2 weeks ago, but she keeps asking when I'm going to read it. So I know I need to read it ASAP because she really wants me to read it and she thinks I'm going to love it. So basically, this is a love story for every woman who needs to learn to honor and respect herself. This book explores the ways in which good girls make valuable mistakes on the path to true adulthood. But when we release fear and pain, we become empowered to claim freedom and authenticity. So it definitely sounds like a Chloe book. And I hadn't heard of it before, but it has like a lot of awards. And yeah, mum said it's like a really quick read as well. So I'm excited to read this and discuss it with her. So yeah, that is the last book on my list. I really have high hopes that I will actually read all of these books this year. Feel free to hold me accountable. But yeah, I would love to know which books you are going to prioritize for this year. I hope you all have an amazing reading year. I sense a really good reading year for me. I am excited for all the stories that I'm going to encounter. Who goes there? Is that a cat? No, I can't see. Oh my god, meow! Look who came to say hello. I got a cat this year. Meow. This is my cat, Kazzy. Meow. She's very needy.
I wanted to take a sneak peek.
Have you read any of them?
Cersei, really liked.
Kaz is the one who got me Little Eyes.
Yes, I've also read that. And no comment.
Ah! Did you not like it?
Nope.
What about any of the others?
I've heard good things about A Psalm for the Wild built. Becky
Yep.
Chambers heard very good things. I don't really know much else about the other ones though.
Watch my video to find out.
I will. Yeah, looking forward to it. Toodaloo!
Thank you so much once again to Skillshare for sponsoring this video. Don't forget the first 500 people to use my link will get a 1-month free trial of Skillshare. If you're looking for more content from me, I have a Patreon always linked below, and that is where I upload extra content. So on there we do a monthly book club, we have live shows, more vlogs, journaling videos, etc. I have all my socials linked below. And yeah, thank you so much for watching and supporting. I appreciate you all a lot. I hope you're all having a good day or night, and I'll hopefully see you in my next video.